gymnastics. As far as the wrestling business, what I did was I intimidated a lot of people. Because I didn't give a
Welcome to Lila Studios. Today is Friday, September 16th. I'm right on the nose today with the date, Friday, September 16th.
You're on fire already. Wait a minute.
You're just hanging out,
I already
talking
ate
on your
that.
phone.
Yeah, and I got my coffee and I'm
Watching videos.
I got the thing right
See
here.
the volume. We should really be ready when this gets
Yeah,
started.
because Eric Jimenez, he's the expert in talkology or microphonology or
I still
whatever.
understand why you're not ready. Like, you've been sitting here
Wait, all of a sudden you just start.
watching certain things on your phone that I'm not going to talk about.
Oh, I'll talk about
Listen,
it. Right?
Eric Jimenez, so you give a comment on there, bad-mouthing the audio, saying this, saying that. I asked for help. I said, email me what the hell you're talking about. You don't email me. Listen, if you're not going to help out, then don't complain. That's your best friend, too, Rip.
Well, he is a chronic bitcher. I
mean, I can't believe...
Well, he's in a sort of a bad mood because he's starting to train now and he's watching what he eat. So he's mad because he's going to get shredded again. And so he's miserable. But when all of a sudden he's got all those 19-year-old women chasing after him, it's going to be a different day.
How old is he? Is he old, young? How old is this Eric Jimenez?
Well, wait a minute. I'm 68, so anybody younger than me...
All right, he's in his 20s.
No, he's not in his 20s. I think he's about your age.
He's 50?
No, he's not 50.
Well, I'm damn near 50.
Well, you're damn near, but you're not 50, so...
Yeah.
When you hit 50, you'll have a traumatic experience. What are you, 48 now?
48.
48. So you got one more 49, and you'll stay at 49 for a long time.
Listen here, Eric. If you're not going to give us the advice, if you're not going to tell me what to do to make this better, then don't just sit there and say, "Oh, this sounds like shit." Well, then tell me how to make it sound better.
Boy, you told him, didn't you? Well, somebody just unsubscribed us. So
No, they did not.
That
Did
must
they?
have been him.
Oh, well, screw him. We don't need him. Hey, listen. Speaking of subscribe, go right now to Wrestling with Rip Rogers on YouTube. We have 1,569 subscribers, Rip. We are almost to 100,000 views. You know that? We're like 93,500 views. You're all ready to go. Go to Wrestling with Rip Rogers, subscribe, and...
Oh, yeah. Smash.
Smash any and all like buttons. Hit the bell, too, the notification bell. Rip, do you get notified every time that I post a video on YouTube?
No.
Why not? You haven't hit the bell?
I don't know what that means.
I'll tell you why. Because you're not even subscribed. That's why.
I can't, Well,
you can't
but they got
subscribe.
that pertinent information.
Still have not subscribed.
Well, yeah, but I read everything on the thing.
Manny the Weasel Valverde has subscribed, and you can't figure out how to subscribe.
Yeah, but Manny didn't do it. He had some little kid help him or something. He's still living at home in Mom's basement,
1,569 subscribers on our way to 2,000, Rip.
Hey, did Renee get a hold of you?
Well, yeah, you could, yeah. Yeah.
Well, it just came into my head because he was one. I said, no, I said, clear it up with Lilas.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So Rip Rogers on fire. He's going to be on Renee Dupree's show again, I believe. He did a big podcast last night with who was it?
It was Dave.
Dave. Is he getting more?
Dave.
I mean, it's
just Dave.
What if the people want to go watch?
Dave.
All right, Rip did a big podcast with Dave last night.
No, now it's going to be like the big secret. And they'll be wondering, who's Dave?
Yeah, Dave
who's
Meltzer?
Dave? Who's no? Oh, no.
Not the Dave.
Oh, no.
Also in October, you probably should reach out just to make sure.
Oh, I got to call Jerry Briscoe back.
Yeah, we're going to be on, or you're going to be on.
I think it's the 11th.
Briscoe and Bradshaw, October 11th, which you don't know when that's going to air. I don't think they do them live. They probably got a bunch of the can. I got the fan on. Look, you can see our ring just swaying in the wind.
It's swaying in the wind. Is that the? Yeah, there's all four ropes are swaying in the wind.
All four ropes, boxing ring instead of a wrestling ring.
No, you can have a wrestling ring with four ropes. It's just, well, I guess you are using the boxing ring, but they act like it's a wrestling ring.
All right, Rip. So I'm trying to do something here. I'm trying to set up and I know you're not a subscriber, so you won't see it. I'm trying to set up a membership for our YouTube channel. Now, listen out there. Don't get all nervous and stuff like this. We are still going to be pumping out the free show, the free content, the free interviews, all that kind of stuff. That hasn't changed a bit. But we've been doing this. This is episode 30, Rip. This is 30 weeks of this stuff. Yeah, wild, 30 weeks. I didn't think we'd make it past week 3, let alone week 30.
I didn't either.
Okay, so we're on week 30. of doing this stuff is you just poured your coffee all over the place.
I
man.
got it. Boy, there's a hole in my pants down here.
God.
Look at that. Oh, God, look at
just
that.
spilled your coffee everywhere.
You can see, you can see my right nut sticking out.
Oh, my God. So I'm trying to set up this membership thing. So the low-level membership, you're going to be able to do all the emojis and what are those called? I don't know why I'm asking you. Emojis and little picture things or something besides emojis.
Oh,
whatever.
sort of like the
membership badges.
The wrestling thing when the guys go like,
Well, maybe membership badges. There's something else at that level I put in there. It's only like $1.99 a month, Rip. I mean, that's not much for all the stuff we've done for 30 weeks. Asking a mere $1.99 a month. I think that's pretty fair, right? All this free content we put out there.
well, I got to get these guys to subscribe
Can you
to
speak up
my
today? I feel like you're just whispering today.
whispering.
Yeah.
Oh, my teeth are rattling. I'm talking so loud, but I want to get my just OnlyFans thing going. You know.
We're not talking about OnlyFans, Rip. Memberships. And then we're going to have a $3.99 level as well. And you're going to get personal shout-outs from Rip Rogers and Von Lilas on the show. You're also going to get top correspondence to any kind of replies, some exclusive footage that we're going to have on here
Now
as well.
the $3.99, is that where I talk dirty to the girls?
No, we might do that on
okay,
Patreon.
that's $3.99, and I talk dirty to the boys. In is that it?
Well, maybe yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to get going on Patreon as well, to where
Well, Pop's got the Patreon gimmick, right?
Yeah, where we
Ben
can
Hameen.
actually on Patreon. I believe you said you can never do that again.
I know I can.
On Patreon, I think you can actually cuss all you want. So I was thinking about just doing a little 20-minute segment on Patreon,
like a cussathon.
and you can just cuss all you want. You can say whatever you want on there.
Oh yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what I'm looking into right now.
Well, you better clear it up before you think. Did we plug my book
Also,
yet?
Rip,
Wait a
listen
minute,
to
we didn't
this
plug
news.
my book yet.
Listen to this news.
Wait a minute, got my book there. On sale where?
Amazon.com.
Amazon.com. Wrestling with Rip Rogers.
That's not what it's called.
Oh, okay. The book
called
on pro wrestling.
The book on pro wrestling.
Well, I get confused.
Oh, no shit. Lessons from Rip Rogers on
what?
Amazon.com.
No, on sale at. Oh yeah.
My God.
Where
What do you mean
sale?
on what?
Where
You
at?
got two
On.
things to say. And
I said smash.
yeah,
I got
ready.
one.
You were ready the whole time. So you know all those matches I put on there, like with you and Adrian Street. I got that whole thing with Fuller's territory and all that always gets dinged. And I think Stampede, gets dinged with all the old Benoit stuff. I think there's a way that I can do it and put those links on Patreon and not get dinged, I think. So I'm thinking I'm going to try to get this Patreon going. You can see all these matches that won't get dinged. Old wrestling. I got a whole box of VHS of Rip Rogers in different territories. The stuff that YouTube won't let me put on, I think I might be able to get it on Patreon.
I don't know. You're the brains of this outfit. I don't know. I'm just here saying smash.
I'm really pretty stupid, so if anybody out there besides Eric Jimenez knows how to do Patreon,
Oh.
send us an email, thelilastudios@gmail.com. Send us an email. Let me know how Patreon works and if there's a workaround the trademark stuff. And Eric Jimenez sent me that trademark workaround and said all you got to do is announce, like in the beginning, that shit doesn't work. I can't believe he's your best friend, man.
Well, everybody's got to have a best friend. Yours is the dog at home. Hey, you gonna tell stories about your dad whipping you all the time with the belt when you was a kid?
No.
And how it was going.
No, those are private stories.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but if they get for $2.99 a month, they could get some thing of the king whipping you.
Well, we don't have a $2.99 option, Rip. Maybe you didn't listen on.
I didn't listen.
What I just said.
I'm not gonna buy any.
We have $1.99.
I don't have $1.99
We have
anyway.
a $1.99 option and a $3.99 option. We don't have a $2.99 option.
Well, it used to be $2.99 was like the standard.
Well,
$1.99, boy, you're like a cheapskate.
all right. Listen to this. We just got a comment come through from Classy Chappie. Chappie just commented. Just got a notification. Hey.
Well, he told me last week that I had no energy or whatever.
How do you know it's a he?
Huh?
He or she. We don't know that.
No, he kayfabing it good. He could be like Pauline LePage at Jackson County
Go ahead.
Fair.
I don't want to edit this stuff.
They're hermaphrodite,
I don't want to.
Yeah, you don't have to edit. I didn't say nothing bad.
What were you just saying? They said you had no energy last week?
Yeah, he was saying he said, oh yeah, he was saying I had no energy in the show or whatever. That's probably because I get a text and I just, leave me alone.
I mean, come on. We got like 50 more minutes. You got to, I feel like you're a little down today, man. Like,
really?
Yeah. Not very loud.
Not very
just
loud.
Slumped over.
Well,
don't sit up straight.
I can't sit up straight. It hurts my back. I got the big knot in my back.
Hey, where's your shirt, man? I thought we were Hollywood hunking it today, no?
Well, I couldn't remember. I think I got it in there.
Ryan Nimitz, my favorite wrestler, AEW.
Wait a minute. AEW.
AEW.
Well, that was real enthusiastic.
Hey, let's talk interviews.
Okay, bubbling with enthusiasm. All right.
Have you watched the EC3 interview we put out yet?
I watched it, yeah, when you sent it to me.
How was it?
It was the greatest one I looked at yesterday.
EC3 is out.
He's jacked now.
Came out on Wednesday.
But you was so funny, though. He was just telling the truth about the wrestling business.
Yeah.
It's the greatest piece of shit business there is.
Yeah.
And it's just a roller coaster ride. You want to celebrate like every day's a Saturday, and all of a sudden you want to blow your brains out. And that's the wrestling business, but it's the business we chose to be in. Nobody put a gun to our heads. I was just nuts anyway.
No. So EC3 is in the kind of the news, so to speak, the wrestling Twitter news. What's his name came out? Velveteen Dream, and EC3 came out first. Said he tried to film people at his party back in NXT, like going to the bathroom. Velveteen Dream came out, basically said he was a cokehead in a nutshell. EC3 came back, said I've never failed any drug test of any sort at any time. Got a little Twitter war rip with one of our guests on here. I mean, we got to side with EC3, right?
Yeah, I'm EC3 all the way. Velveteen, no dream. He's already been convicted, and he's history.
Now, just so we don't get in any trouble, I don't know for a fact that he was ever convicted of anything. Do you know that for a fact? If not, maybe it was alleged. Maybe we'll use that word.
Okay, let's do alleged.
He was allegedly convicted, or
was
he was allegedly in a lot of trouble.
I was alleged to do a lot of things my whole life, and usually it was 99%. Did you do that? Hell yeah, I did it, and I'd do it again. And you wish you was in my shoes to do it. So what the hell, right?
Yeah.
And besides, hell, I hadn't done the cuss word yet, have I?
No, you've been doing real good.
Okay. And we got over 30 seconds of being on.
Yeah, you could drop a couple, F-bombs here or there. A couple. You can use other cuss words besides the F word and GD, I would think,
What Chappie want? What did he say?
Well, he or she, I don't know. I didn't
Why do you always say he or she?
How do you know it's a guy?
Huh?
I mean, why do you think it's a guy? He likes... This person is in love with Manny the Weasel Valverde, so...
Wait a minute, you said it was a guy.
No, I'm saying, how do you know it's a guy? It could be a girl. You don't know.
Well, the guy's... whoever it is, he's obviously hungry.
Their profile picture looks like a girl. Or wait, is that a guy or a girl?
It looks like a guy, isn't it?
I think it's a girl, isn't it? That red?
I don't know. I can't see that.
See, you don't even know by then.
No.
Hey, look at that EC3 cover, that our new thumbnail. Look at that thing. Doesn't that look sharp?
Thumbnail?
Yeah, that picture.
Oh, I thought I was looking at my
You like the new color scheme and the new look at that thing?
That's the greatest one I've seen today.
Oh, my God. Oh, Chappie's comment was, it's short and sweet, Chappie. What's wrong, man? You didn't have much to say on this. Fantastic interview of EC3. Thumbs up 4 times.
Oh, after knocking me the whole time for having no energy.
Yeah.
And here I am, just having a labor of love and all the pressure of the world. Chappie.
Go check out EC3. We also interviewed last week Shelly Martinez. That's going to be a great one, Rip. I'll get that out next week. So when you're watching this on Monday, Shelly will be out either Wednesday or Thursday.
How hot was Shelly Martinez?
She was looking pretty good, Rip.
Jesus
She was a great interview.
Christ.
She was a lot of fun, wasn't she?
I know, but I keep having to clean my glasses off because they kept steaming up. Little Mexicano hot potato there.
Yeah.
She was looking good.
She was looking good. It'll be a good interview. Today, Rip.
Oh, yeah.
Today, baby. Mm-hmm. Who do we have coming on the show today?
Vicki James?
Vicki James.
Is that today or is that
Is she
next
going to
week?
be Is she? She's pretty good looking. She's a looker herself, right?
My God.
Is your glasses going to steam up again today?
I don't know, but there's a stiff towel that's
we're-
standing up on the wall that's leaned up against the wall.
Vicki James joins the show, Wrestling with Rip Rogers, today. We will film this today. It'll be out in a few weeks, couple weeks, whatever.
Hey,
Rip, you know she has almost 1 million followers on Twitter?
well, she's with WWE for how long? All them guys have got millions.
No, they don't. Not all of them.
Well, she was an integral part of WWE for years and years and years. Anybody that was there for years and years and years, they all got numbers like that. But what it is she's just a hot biatch, you know. Now I said that the B-I-O, so that didn't count as a cuss word, right?
Yeah, I think
so
that's all right.
that's okay.
Right.
And then Mickey's just hot. Mickey's cool.
Do
You know, from being Alexis Lurie when she come into OVW. And I always said her and Serena was the best two girl wrestlers I ever had.
I think you just told Gail Kim that last week that she was,
No, that was 2 weeks ago.
or whenever.
But Mickey was there before Gail was. So I always had Serena and Mickey.
Doing all the stuff.
Doing the what?
Like the stuff, like you like having them show people or whatever. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Whatever.
So Mickey James, we're having Chris Silvio on the show today too. Old Susio from the OVW DCW.
Oh, you're like his uncle, so you'll be kissing ass. And
I'm his real life uncle.
You'll be putting him over. And then we'll be talking about package as a ref with WWE. Then we'll be talking about James Long, Kamikaze Kid, James Long. And then, we'll have to talk about Tanea because he's with Tanea. And then we'll have to talk about her because she's with AEW.
And where's Chris Silvio? Who's he with right now?
Oh, he's got his own gig going.
No, he's with NWA. He's with Corgan and NWA. He's a manager there. He manages
okay.
Jack Stain.
Okay.
You didn't know that, huh?
Yeah, but
did your homework.
No, I already did my homework, but I hadn't got to that yet.
Oh, okay.
Because he's also the personal wrestling coach of Blake Troop, too.
Oh, yeah? Who's that?
Oh, I guess you should have done your research. I got you, didn't I? I bet Eric Jimenez is laughing right now, knowing I just got your butt.
Who's Blake Troop? So he's in their class at the dojo or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Death Proof
Oh,
Dojo?
yeah. Blake's a big shooter.
I bet I could take him.
Oh, you probably could.
Shooter my ass, Blake Troop.
Well, no, he's,
Show up at Brooklyn Pizza Friday night. We'll see how tough you are.
Well, but you're a shooter. You're pretty good for 15 to 18 feet.
50% all time at
Yeah.
3-pointers in Seymour.
He was
High
1 for
School.
2, wasn't he?
1 for 2, baby, yeah.
Well, hey, you just got the highest percentage ever in the history of NBA career 3-point shootings.
Larry Bird.
No, Pete Maravich was 10 for 15. 67%.
He shot 15 threes. They do
Yeah.
that in a game now.
Well, I know that. Well, they didn't do that then. And the 3-point line just come out, see?
Wow.
I don't when Pete
Rose played
yeah,
basketball?
no,
Yeah.
Pete Rose sat on attack. Pete Rose. But
That's terrible. Hey, you know what? That little Lila's told me the joke the other night. She said, "What do you call a fish with no eye?" How do you know that?
because there's no I in it, just
I meant no
FSH.
eye, like a fish with no eye. I think I said eye. I think I stressed eye too much there. It's supposed to be like a fish with no eye. Yeah.
I got it. I never even heard that
You
before.
ruin everything, man.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Whoa, what? What do you call it then?
Chris Silvio going to be on the show today. So think about that. Totally Awesome. Remember when Totally Awesome came down to OVW? Now you got, of those two little twerps in Totally Awesome, those two little, remember they did the Romeo and Juliet?
Romeo, wherefore art thou? No,
like-
Susio, wherefore art thou, Susio?
I was like, who in the hell are these guys? Now, one of them's with WWE and one of them's with NWA. Pretty cool.
And then,
And that's 20 years later.
right.
Pretty wild.
James Long.
James Long. Chris Silvio on the show today. Also, Rip, I don't think I've told you, but we're supposed to try to sneak in Kay Fabian, the POD.
A pod? What's a POD mean?
The old mechanic.
Oh, pods of destruction. Is that what it was? Guido.
The Andretti's.
Vito. The Andretti Express, baby.
Andretti Express. He doesn't know if he can figure out a Zoom link, though. So, we'll see.
Well, I can't figure it out. I was on last night. The guy was trying to do this. I said, look, you're the boss. Get this shit and get it done right to me. Somehow I was started pushing buttons, and somehow I got it working.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, then he messed it up some way. Then I got to work it again with accidental. I think it was like a eeny, meeny, miny, mo, push this. I said, oh, bypass that. We'll do something else. And it worked. I couldn't believe it.
Wow. Mr. Technology,
Yeah,
Rip Rogers.
sort of senior technology.
I've taught you a lot here at Live in the Studios.
Well, you have. I got coffee,
I'm talking about technology-wise.
Oh, okay.
Hey, let's plug. So if this show comes out on Monday, it'll be this Friday, September 23rd. Friday, September 23rd, third. Brooklyn Pizza, baby. Harmony Park, Seymour, Indiana. What's happening on that day, Rip?
Well,
tell the people out there.
Well, that's my
What's
son.
going down on Friday, September 23rd at Brooklyn Pizza at Harmony Park. Tell people what's going on, Rip.
Well, my son Marcus's birthday's that day. But I'll be there to see Sean. I'll have books on sale right there.
Well, you'll be
and
there.
I'm going to be managing you and Johnny Justice.
Johnny Justice and Von Lilas and Rip.
It don't get any better. The three stooges. I mean, the three studs from Seymour.
Rip coming out of retirement to be our manager, and we're going against who, Rip? Who are we taking?
Oh, the dangerous outrunners.
The dangerous outrunners. Turbo Floyd, Truth Magnum. Do we stand a chance, Rip?
Well, we didn't until I got involved in you guys as a manager. But now we're sort of like the sentimental favorites.
We're the hometown heroes. We're old and decrepit, so we got sympathy right there.
Well, you may be old, but I
decrepit.
should have been deceased 20 years ago.
So, have you ever been a manager before?
Well, I used to be a manager for Suicide Blondes, Jason Lee and Derry King, yeah.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
So do you remember how to do that? I mean, that's
no.
been 20 years ago.
No, I don't remember.
Are you going to have good advice for us? Like, are we going to have like a game plan going into this? Like,
yeah.
Are we going to have like practice? Do you practice? Like,
no, I'm gonna tell you the game plan is thin crust pizza with onion and a little bit of pepperoni on it.
Is that going to be before or after the match?
It's going to be before, during, and after the match.
You know what's going to be really tough for me? I'll tell you right now what's going to be real tough for me is I'm assuming now they may not be smart enough to put us in the main event. I'm assuming we should be in the main event. Sean Malone, I hope you're smart enough to figure that out. How am I going to sit there for 2 hours at a brewery?
You're going to be drunk by the time you get in there.
And not be able to drink before our match.
Well, just start drinking.
Yeah.
Just start drinking and tell Johnny Justice to go get him, Johnny. I'm half drunk. And Rip's got that pizza and he's full. Yes. So go get him, kid. Make a name for yourself. Let's see if you can handle the outrunners by yourself.
That's going to be so awesome. We're going to come out. You're going to come out with a pizza. I'm going to come out with a beer. And we're going to tell Johnny
Did you see the guy on
Go get him.
Did you see the guy on AEW, some kind of pizza thing?
Dude.
Oh, my God. Here I am trying to say AEW, and they put this comical pizza guy flipping a fucking... that's my first cuss word.
That's all right.
Because it was stupid. This ain't a comedy hour. Why don't you just shit on the business even more? Golly.
I think there is a spot, and you've done comedy and wrestling, so I think there's definitely a spot in wrestling with comedy. But that is more of a spoof, making fun.
You're making fun of wrestling.
This guy, this pizza guy, whatever his name is, he got hot on Twitter, not heat, but well, he did get some heat. But he started trending on Twitter, blowing up on Twitter because he's doing a match.
Yeah.
Twirling the pizza during the whole match.
And he is twirling the pizza good.
Well,
it is good, but I don't want to see that.
So dumb AEW, who we try to like and try to love on this show, AEW puts this clown on national TV.
Next, they'll have a 700-pound fat woman on there. Oh, but you're not allowed to say that because your body's shaming.
700 pounds, normal-looking woman.
Okay.
700-pound.
Normal looking?
Yeah.
But she's not flipping the pizza around.
Here's my thing, and I replied to a couple of people that put this on Twitter. Did you see the kick that the guy took on TV?
What are you talking about?
Did you see the pizza guy on AEW? Did you actually see the scene that he was in?
Wait a minute, is that when somebody kicked and slapped his leg?
Yeah. Right in front of the camera.
I saw it and I wouldn't look at it. No, I saw it accidentally. I said, I'm not even going to look at that. Yeah, it was so disgusting.
That's what I commented. Somebody, look at that.
Oh.
Somebody had put that on Twitter. It was this person, too, I thought. They got all naked people on their Twitter.
Well, at least it was a girl with some nice Bristols.
Yeah, I can't find it. But yeah, so right in front of the camera, it's a backstage segment.
I saw it.
This guy comes in with his hand right up.
And he slaps
his leg.
And I said, I don't want to see that.
And doesn't even kick him. Didn't, misses the guy. So they put a pizza guy on national TV, and then as close up as you could get, they show the guy kicking him and slapping his leg.
I always like it when the little 5-year-old kids are walking around slapping their leg like they're a wrestler.
I mean, come on, Tony Khan, get with it, man. I know you watch the show. I saw that you were a subscriber. We try to support you. We try to be big AEW fans. I got my Hollywood Hunk shirt on, and you just keep doing stupid shit.
What can you say? He's guilty as charged.
I mean, hey, at least maybe probably beat the Colts this weekend, though, because they're in Jacksonville, and they can never win in Jacksonville. He's got that going for him, at least.
Wait a minute. Jacksonville, they have the worst team. Did they have the worst record in the league last year?
Yeah, he's got the worst football team and the worst wrestling show in the world, both. Pretty good.
But he just keeps making more money, so he's sure as hell doing something right.
Maybe we should start a football team and a wrestling show. Why don't we do that?
Well,
we could be rich.
Yeah, but you got to have billions to start that.
Hey, speaking of AEW, we're not going to talk any current matches or any storylines or anything like that. But did you see the thing that I think Dutch Mantel tweeted it out with all the AEW botches here lately, and all the people getting hurt again?
Well, I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah,
you know why? You know why they get hurt.
Well, you say it's because they're not used to taking bumps, but these aren't normal bumps. These are just stupid-ass moves.
Well, they got guys that don't know how to work.
They don't know what they're doing. How about poor Ruby Soho, former OVW person?
She got dropped on her head, neck, or whatever.
That's the thing, though, about her. Tell them no. Tell them no, I'm not doing that shit.
Well, you're not. Well,
just say no.
The thing about it is, I would rather hurt myself than hurt my opponent.
I mean, here.
And they just took and just threw her on her head, and boom.
I mean, look at that shit. Look at her. Look at that. Oh, my God.
Just don't give a shit.
This one. Look at that. This was just on TV the other night. Oh, my God. I mean, they have no idea what they're doing, man.
No, but it's cool.
AEW is the biggest show I've ever seen where they do more things where they drop people on their head, more spots that their head is straight down to the camera that I've ever seen in my life. It's just unbelievable that they do it. Oh, speaking of Vicki James, did you see what she said about all that stuff? She's going to be on her show today. We can ask her about it. She had the quote basically saying, go out and work these matches like you might want to wrestle again in 10 years. Like maybe you want to wrestle again in 20 years.
Well, they don't have a chance. I mean, when you grew up in the territories and you had 1,000 matches in 3 years and that was the norm, and you guys that are pros now are lucky to have 7 matches a month. Or was it? And some of the guys they give them jobs and they don't even use them and they don't practice. So you're not worth a shit. Can you imagine playing in Major League Baseball, NBA, or football, but you don't practice? And the boss don't make him practice. He's as guilty as all of them. They're bound to be rotten, horrible, no timing. Your skills deteriorate. And most of them don't have a clue to what it is to work anyway. They just do moves. You don't just do stuff because you can. God.
Or you can't. You do stuff because you actually can't. But hey, speaking of, we had Nova, Simon Dean on the show. We just interviewed him. That's going to be coming out. Awesome interview, Nova Simon Dean. I kind of asked him about the ECW stuff, which kind of leads into the AEW with me saying, just tell him no. And I said, man, were you ever like just kind of basically scared to be in ECW because all the shit they did? And I didn't watch it that much, especially back in the day. And he said, hey, the people that did the tables and the chairs and all that, they did a barbed wire. He said, but not everybody had to do that. Like, if you didn't want to do it, you didn't do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You just say no. And somebody else tweeted that out the other day. You just...
Well, it's your choice to
Timmy
be...
Baltimore was saying that.
It's your
choice.
choice.
You can say no.
Yeah, it's your choice to be stupid or not.
Yeah.
Hey, can you fall off the top of the Empire State Building? No, they don't have the Empire State Building anymore, but I would have,
Just say no, baby. Ruby Soho, just say no. Don't let them do that shit to you. Did you ever tell anybody no? Like, did people bring stuff up to you and you say...
Whatever.
I know you guys didn't do as much stupid shit. I mean, obviously. But was there anything that you remember just saying no?
Oh, I remember that somebody, I was on the outside, they wanted me to catch him. I said, no, you might hurt me. I said, it ain't the finish, it don't mean nothing. So I ain't going to do it. No, you might hurt me.
I mean, there's been several people that have had broken necks from trying to catch people.
Right, so I ain't going to be doing that. I'm getting in, getting out, going to live to see another day.
Yeah.
What can you say?
You probably were leading most things, but when you were younger, you probably had the opportunity maybe to tell people no. But again, back then, probably didn't have to worry about it nearly as much because you weren't risking falling on your head and neck every 5 seconds in a match.
And we was working, there wasn't no pads around or anything. This is just cement.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, such is life. You have to evolve, right?
You have to evolve.
You have to get all your shit in.
Wrestling
right?
has evolved, Rip.
That's we got to slap your leg.
Leg slaps.
You got to slap your leg.
Got to get the dive in.
You got to get the dive in. You got to have 99 false finishes for no reason.
The facial expression afterwards.
Oh, I can't believe you kicked out.
Cannot believe you kicked out again.
Yeah, again. That's the 27th time you've kicked out that match.
And then end it with a roll-up, man.
We got to have the roll-up.
Every time.
And hook the tights, too.
Yeah, well, they don't even do that. They don't cheat.
Oh.
It would make sense sometimes to do that.
And you got to be a tweener, too. So you have nobody likes you and you have no heat.
You got to be a tweener. You can't actually have people not like you. That's not cool.
Hey, I know we got to see how many guys we can turn.
How many? Yeah.
Each week.
Good guy today, bad guy tomorrow.
Yeah.
Good guy the next day, bad guy the next day.
Yeah. Okay.
It makes it a lot easier to follow that way.
Yeah, because then you never know. You could be like on what's the name? Hallucinatory drugs or something like that. Is he a good guy or a bad guy, man? I don't know.
Wait, what was that drug again? What kind of hallucinatory?
Yeah, what of them? I got my finger because I got that hole in my pants.
I bet Eric Jimenez will be able to tell you what kind of drug that is.
I don't know, but
he's your best friend.
But he would be able to tell you whether my microphone's on or you didn't.
Yeah.
You did listen to him because he's a sound expert, and you just basically blew him off.
He didn't give me any advice. I told him to email me exactly.
Yeah,
what
but
he
he's
was
a busy man. You know he's got about 3 girlfriends on the side.
Ooh. Hey.
And 2 younger men. And a dog.
Hey, tell us about so tonight. So this will be old for the people watching this, but tonight, baby, tell the people what is happening tonight, Rip. It's the Friday, September 16th is the premiere of what?
Oh, Dylan Bostic's big movie.
Do you know what it's called? I mean, you could go into a little bit more than that.
Well, I'd have to check on my thing because they changed the name of it. See, it was one thing and they changed it to something else because some big Hollywood distribution company bought it or whatever. So Dylan's over it. He's had the things on Twitter and stuff. He has the gun and everything.
Dylan Bostic, friend of the show. He's been on our show in the studio.
Yeah, and then he got some kind of clothing deal with some kind of big clothing.
That's not what tonight is. Tell him what tonight is. You gotta see. That's your time when Chappie's gonna be like, "Oh, Rip is no." I mean, you had
no
your
energy.
You had your chance to really put over this movie tonight, and you're like, oh yeah, well, he's got this clothing.
By the time
thing.
this plays, it's going to be over.
Movies last forever. You can always go back and watch it.
Well, but we're looking at the premiere. We don't give a no. After the premiere, who cares?
They don't just.
No, it's the premiere.
If
That's
you don't watch it tonight, you'll never be able to see it. It's going to be up here forever.
It's going to be so hot.
Oh my goodness.
And Eric Jimenez might be there, and Chappie might be there.
You just watched a video that's probably was made 30 years ago.
What video is that?
Well, I can't say it on here, but.
Oh.
So now you're going to say
I know what you're 30 years ago? No.
I bet so. You don't think?
No, 20 years ago.
No, she was in OVW. Oh, can't
no,
she was in OVW.
Yeah.
I'll bet you any amount of money that you don't have that it was more than 30 years ago or 20 years ago.
Well, you said 30. Now all of a sudden you just switched to 20.
I bet 30 is closer than 20.
No,
I bet so. I'd bet you. If you had any money, I would bet it.
Okay, well, how old is she?
48.
48?
50?
Oh my God.
Probably.
You're going to have to really edit this out.
No, we're not talking about it anymore. Oh, 43?
Yeah. 30 years ago. Should be the 13. Okay. Bottom line, this is a child molester.
All right, let's quit talking about this.
You're going to have to go back and do some editing on this, aren't you?
Maybe. Speaking of editing, I almost put out that EC3 video. Remember when I thought I hit stop on record and he stayed on for like another minute and I had it recorded? I almost forgot to take that out.
Oh. Was that when we was talking about
we can't say that.
Circumcision and width and vascularity?
We were not talking about that at all.
Big veinage and stuff like that?
No, we weren't talking about that at all, but I almost hit the button, and I was like, I forgot all about it. And then I went back and took it out.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why you're the boss.
Yep. Hey, we got one email. Thanks a lot, guys. One email. One freaking email this week.
Who's it from? You mean the one Chappie had?
I'm like pissed off that we get one email. This is when you get excited. You're like, oh, who's it from?
Yeah, that's what I said. Who's it from? But you already said it was Chappie.
Aren't you pissed that we only got? It wasn't Chappie. Aren't you pissed we only got one email?
What are you supposed to do? Put a knife to somebody's head, a gun to somebody's head, or what? Oh, you can't say that. Oh, yeah, you can't say anything.
Right. It seems like you would learn.
Oh, well, that's why we don't have no emails because you're too nice.
Oh, wait, we did have another email. I forgot.
Oh!
Roger IE emailed us. I forgot. Hey, Rip, explain to us, Marks, like he's calling himself a Mark, the difference in, I think he asked about ring rats last time. The difference in ring rats across the world in your experience.
Well, first of all, if you have ring rats, okay, like in Germany, you would have, like we'd be in, Hanover for 10 straight weeks. So we was there. We wrestled 70 straight days in the same building. So what they do that all year, they'd save their money and get a season ticket. So you had a season ticket. Like you'd be in the front row, there'd be the hot blonde girl, there's the hot redhead girl, there's the hot black girl, there's the hot Indian girl. Here's the one you think it's a girl, but it's really a guy dressed in drag. But what the hell, just turn the lights down low. But anyway. So
that's that place. What about other places?
Well, no matter what language you're in, you have a male and you have a female. Girls have big tatas, big Bristol cities.
All right, how did a new rat, so to speak, get her foot in the door?
Well, she would go with another rat.
Okay, so you just see two hot girls hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
So do you initiate it? Did they initiate it? How did that work?
Well, you can be as aggressive as you want with them. They can always say no, but they don't.
Were there any backstage rules? Like, did the promoters allow any, hey, meet me in the back after?
Well, a lot of times it was promoters were with them, so, but you're not supposed to say that. But then again, somebody that's been paying $20-some million in hush money,
All right, so let's say you wanted to hook up with a chick.
Yeah.
That was at the show. Mm-hmm. Did you tell her, meet me somewhere after the show?
Usually I'd have them toss me out to the thing, and as I'm crawling underneath her and I'm grabbing her leg, it says, hey, meet me after my match after I take a shower because I want to be clean.
So they just wait on you then?
Oh, yeah.
Did everybody know where you came in and out of? where your cars were, all that kind
Oh
of stuff?
yeah,
Oh,
the rats knew everything.
Really?
They knew the sequence of events. They knew what town you were at the day before. They know you were going after. A lot of times they're bringing you food. They're doing your laundry, whatever. They're driving you to the next town. You're spending the night with them. They're spending money on you because you're the man, and they're the Riazats.
I guess my thing is, how did a rat become a rat? How does a rat get her foot in the door? Like, how does she start knowing where you park? How does she start knowing what town you're going to next?
It's just like on our podcast. You got to do your research.
You got to do your research.
Uh-huh.
So she uses Wikipedia, huh?
Yeah. What's the correct sequence? You'll sit there
Being a ring rat.
and you'll see, okay, the good guys come in this door, the bad guys come in this door. I don't want the good guys; they're boring. I want the bad guys. I want the bad boys. So the bad boys always got the good ones. Yeah, because you got the freaks.
Good question, Roger.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. TheLivestudios@gmail.com. Email us questions. Here we got one right here. It looks like it's from Dakota Francis. Now, this is pretty cool, Rip. Pretty cool. Good evening. I just recently saw your video with Plowboy Pete. Remember I put the ICW Plowboy Pete match on there?
Yeah. Anytime we ran a spot show, we had 3 rings. Sometimes we ran 3 shows. We would have a show outside of Johnson City, Tennessee. So Pete would take the ring. Him and the referee would take the ring, and they'd set the ring up. And so Pete would always work like opening match, but he would be in charge of the ring, and the referee. So like we might have a show there, and have a show going in Southern Illinois, and have a show going in Kentucky somewhere. We on some nights we'd have 3 shows going.
Oh wow.
So maybe I'd take the money in one show and settle up. Maybe Randy would take the money to another show and settle up. And then maybe his mother would go with him like on the Kentucky thing, so she didn't have to be on the road that much. And she would handle the box office on the 3rd show.
So, Plowboy Pete, Rip.
Mm-hmm.
It says, I am his grandson and was so happy to see him wrestling because I was never able to do it in person.
We used to stay at his... A lot of times when we had overnights down there, ran there 2 days in a row, we'd stay at his house. He'd feed us, everything. What a good guy he was.
I think it's pretty cool. We got Plowboy Pete's grandson seeing this stuff on our channel.
Well, that's because you put it on there.
No shit.
Yeah.
And reached out to see if we had any more. So, Dakota, baby, I think we got some more. I'll dig in the boxes and see what I can find. If we can get anything else out there with Plowboy Pete, we'll get it on there for you. Would you say, Rip, we're dream makers here
We dream makers,
we're
baby.
dream makers here at Lila Studios.
That's like I think I gave you like 4 years of ICW matches, but it's mostly just my stuff because what it was
Because you're over.
well, no, what it was tapes cost $29 then.
Yeah.
$29, and that's 40 years ago. And it would only be like a 2 to 4 hour tape, right? So if you just put a couple shows on there, so I would just tape my matches usually.
What'd you do? Set the timer on the VCR?
No, I would be usually doing it.
What do you mean doing it?
I would watch the thing, and when my match was getting ready, I'd push play.
Oh,
and
you'd watch it.
Yeah.
Because you knew when you were on.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. Hey, Rip, I got this book.
Okay.
This book is called The Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, The Tag Teams. And it lists like a bazillion tag teams that's ever wrestled. I'm not sure you're in here, though. Ooh, there's the Valiants. Mr. Wrestling 1 and 2. I got a question about them. Were they related? 1
Who's
and 2?
that?
Mr. Wrestling 1 and 2.
Oh, no, one was Tim Wood, one was Johnny Walker.
Was there multiple Mr. Wrestlings, or were they always...
Oh, there was always a lot of Mr. Wrestlings, but not Mr. Wrestling 1 and 2.
They were always...
It was always Tim Woods, who was a great amateur wrestler and had part of his finger bitten off by... he had part of his finger cut off. I don't know if he got bit off or whatever. And then one was Johnny Walker.
Did you ever wrestle him?
Yeah, I wrestled too, working for Ole and wrestled too, working for Ron Fuller and working for Bill Watts too.
Really?
He would hit you with a knee lift and just slap the shit out of your back.
Oh, so he'd slap the back and not his leg right in front of everybody.
No, he hit you with a knee lift, but it's like the Adam Parsons knee lift, right? Which you took.
Oh yeah,
and it beat you 1, 2, 3.
Well, allegedly, it was a very fast count. We would have had it on camera if Romer would have been down there in time, but he was a
Hey, tonight Adam's got the big game.
Oh, wait a second.
Between
people are going to
Parsons.
see this after it's over.
I know
so
that.
If we can't plug Dylan's movie on a Friday night, we can't plug a football game on a Friday night.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay, we won't then.
Good luck, Adam Parsons. What do you think about the Fantastics?
They became very successful, but they was sort of like a rip-off of the Fabs, and they were baby faces. But they were a good team. Because why? They were smaller and they sold their asses off. Two good-looking guys, and had the strut and everything.
Tommy Rogers, he was pretty little, wasn't he? I mean,
he was. Yeah, he's probably 5'7".
Do you know anything about him? He always seemed like not a wrestler to me, like not a. I think the pretty boys always kind of had me fooled. Like,
no, he was an amateur wrestler.
Oh, he was?
Yeah. He was a shorter guy, but was great as a babyface because you'd be smaller and you could sell.
Did you ever work with anywhere the Midnight Rockers? Did you ever see him? Were you ever in a territory with him? I know you've talked Shawn Michaels individually before, but what about the Midnight Rockers?
I'm trying to think. I think maybe Marty Jannetty was down there before he was a rocker. Because he was trained by Ted and Jerry Oates. And Ted used to be my partner, and I worked a lot with Jerry Oates.
Were they real brothers?
Yeah.
Oh, they were?
They were from Columbus, Georgia. Because at one time, Columbus, Georgia was a great wrestling town. And Fred Ward was a promoter, and he would run the three Macon, Columbus, and one other town, Albany. They were three weekly towns for Ole. So, and then, so if you got wrestling, just like the Rats, if you got wrestling every, like Tuesday night in a certain place or Wednesday for a certain night, every Wednesday night you're going to be there. Every night you're getting your wrestling fill of whatever you want.
I'm on a page right now with the Hillbillies. Now, most people probably know the Hillbillies, or at least Hillbilly Jim from the WWE days. But they were really around before that. I remember he was Harley Davidson down in Memphis. Cousin Junior and Uncle Elmer. Now, Elmer was always in Memphis as, Plowboy Frazier?
Yeah, and then he was, years ago, he was the convict. He was wrestling. Well, this was before you were born. Oh. He was about 7 foot, and he had a mask on and everything. But he was about a 7 foot convict who looked like wrestling in Los Angeles.
Cousin Junior.
I
found a tape.
He wrestled for Dale Mann for a long time.
He wrestled in Seymour.
You're right.
I remember him coming to Seymour. So how did he get from Dale Mann to WWF?
I remember him working in bowling. I'm not answering the question because of this. There was 6 guys doing a hillbilly gimmick in Bowling Green on a Sunday. We used to go to Atlanta, but Sunday we go down and work for Dale Mann in Bowling Green. And one night he had 6 hillbillies, all dressed up in the hillbilly outfits, the bib overalls and everything. I just couldn't believe it. Six hillbillies in one card.
Yeah, you didn't answer the question at all.
I told you I wasn't going to.
I found a match of yours that I recorded. And it's like a cage match. Mm-hmm. And it might be at the Armory in Seymour. And it looks like it looks like maybe a home VHS thing. Did you ever wrestle Cousin Junior? Can you remember, like in a cage match? It looks like it could be him, and it looks like it could be at the Armory. I remember him going to the Armory once in Seymour, and he had that like horseshoe.
Well, I wouldn't have wrestled him in Seymour because I would have been a.
Oh yeah. Well, what about even back in the day when you?
I don't think
went
so.
there. I remember I've got a picture with you when you had like black hair. Were you always a good guy in Seymour?
Yeah. I was rotten. Oh my God, was I rotten? The shits, the drizzling shits.
So any hillbilly story? Those guys? No, nothing. Awesome. So we got the guns here. That's who I think. You talked last week about being on WWE F in like 92 or 93.
Yeah, it was
You had a
Bart
match
Gunn,
with the
Billy and Bart Gunn against me and Chick Donovan.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They was easy. Now here's something you don't know. We had that match, and what they do is they edited it. We probably had a 10-minute match, and they edited it all out. A lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was live and that's a whole video, but it might have a 10, 12-minute match, and then they would chop it up to like 6 or whatever. So that's something,
Give me a Chick Donovan story, man. I used to love him. I thought he was awesome.
Chick used to always had the dog. He always had the dog who said it could talk. And you're talking about rats, and Chick married a rat. Chick's still working.
Is he really?
Still looking great.
Chick Donovan.
Chick Donovan, he's 70-something. Still working, still wrestling, in tremendous shape.
Wow, that is...
We used to rib Chick all the time because he would act like he was stupider than he was. He was just ribbing you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But he was Jack. He was a good worker. He always did whatever you want. No problem ever with an attitude with Chick.
Do you know the Kentuckians?
Well, that's Grizzly Smith. That's
is that Jake's dad?
Yeah, the big tall one on the left.
God, he looks like a giant.
Well, he's about 6'10".
He was that big?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I used to ride with Grizz a lot of times in Louisiana.
Wow.
I think he's got the record. He was married to a 13-year-old, I think.
Hey, we're on TikTok here, Rip. We got 193 people on here, it looks like.
We're on fire.
We're going to take some TikTok questions here in a minute. We are on YouTube right now. We got our YouTube show going on. We're recording it. If you got a chance here before you ask us some questions on TikTok, no, it's not Sting. It's the Hustle Rip Rogers. Go to Wrestling with Rip Rogers on YouTube now.
Are you Sting or am I Sting?
I think you're Sting.
Is that Sting? Sting don't look...
You got the blonde hair, baby.
Well, does Sting have Sting?
Go there to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. Hit it. Is this already recorded? No, it's not recorded.
No, we're recording it now.
We're live on here right now, you dumb.
Need to send you a Nationals hat. Well, you see me any hat, because I ain't got a hat.
All right. We're going to get to you guys here in just a second on TikTok. We're going to do a couple more of these wrestling tag teams here on our show, Wrestling with Rip Rogers. Who is that? That's got to be Billy Graham. And
That's Crazy Luke Graham and Billy Graham.
Now, who was Luke Graham? I don't remember.
Well, that's him right now.
Well, I see
Crazy
the damn
Luke
picture,
Graham.
but they weren't really. None of those Grahams are really related, were they?
No, there ain't no Graham. That's a Graham.
But all the Grahams that killed themselves were related, weren't they?
You're talking about Eddie Graham, Mike Graham's son, and Eddie Graham's father. Yeah, they all committed suicide.
Yeah,
I never heard, 4 in a row was just unbelievable. Eddie Graham, at one time, he was president of the NWA, and he's about the smartest guy in wrestling there was. And he had like an 8th grade education or whatever. Oh, what a savvy businessman was, great wrestler. And Mike Graham, he was great. But he was basically the owner of the Tampa territory years ago. Guys had points, which means that you got a percentage. But anyway, that's where Eddie Graham was from, and that's where all the Grahams came from.
Now, they were Florida, weren't they?
Yes.
And didn't Dusty leave them when that kind of the deal? Didn't Dusty?
Dusty was a booker for years in Tampa, which was championship wrestling from Florida. Then he went to Charlotte and took a lot of guys with him. And it really hurt them when, Dusty was getting them more money, and they was working more. A lot of times Charlotte ran 3 towns a night, see. And we was in Tampa. Well, see, we ran Tampa every week, Jacksonville every week, Orlando every week, Miami every week. So there's 4 towns right there, and Tampa was a great territory. And Dusty was a big part of that. He was a booker for a long time. But Eddie Graham would always oversee everything because he was a really smart guy.
We are live on TikTok. Let's see if we get any questions off TikTok yet. Jake the Snake was my favorite. I don't know if I can go back and see old questions. Is that Sting? No. Let's see. TikTok. Is it already recorded? No, we're live, baby. Jake the Snake. This is something. Yes. Oh, so this guy. I remember working out with you and talking wrestling. That was from. What's that say? Lonnie and Renee. So you got an account with your wife. That means something's happened there, probably.
What are you trying to say?
Scent, hat, and mustache. Something times one. I don't know what that means, but thanks. TikTok, you got any questions? Now's the time. What did you eat while you're on the road, Rip?
Oh, usually I brought my food with me.
Okay, Remember, these are the quick questions and answers here. Rip,
oh, okay. It'd be like chicken breast, bunch of fruit.
Chicken breast and fruit. Hi from Portland, Oregon.
Holy
I work
shit.
for Sandy Bar, and I used to wrestle for BCW Dioa, whatever that says.
And
Portland, you know Sandy Bar?
Oh, yeah. Sandy ran, that was Art Barr's dad. That was Jesse Barr's dad. Sandy was the ref for Don Owens for years, and then Sandy ran the town's spot shows and stuff. But then Sandy had the flea market there, and he had he'd be hustling stuff on Sundays. That's the place where I got the Hustler magazine, the Playboy,
Oh, really?
and then we had the picture with me and Buddy Rose as the Playboy and the Hustler.
Nice, that's awesome. Thoughts on Harley Race as a party animal? Did you ever party with Harley Race, Rip?
Oh, no. No, Harley was a drinker. I didn't drink. And then Harley was an older guy, and I was busy trying to get women, get real. Harley would just soon fight, smoke cigarettes, and drink. I was boring. I wanted women.
How did Scott Hall really die? I don't know.
He wasn't a blood clot or something?
I don't know.
I thought it was a blood clot, but I only made it through 3 years of medical school. I don't know.
What's that say? Dr.
Palms.
I don't know what that means. Big fan 2274. Any wrestling questions on TikTok? Somebody asked a good question. The Portland thing was cool. We only got 17 viewers now. We lost a bunch of people on here, Rip. TikTok questions right now. Go. We're getting the hell off here if you don't hurry up and ask some questions. We're on YouTube right now, Wrestling with Rip Rogers. Get over there and subscribe. We get on here about every Friday live on TikTok. Any more TikTok questions? Ask them now. Is the Rip Oliver? This is not Rip Oliver. This is Rip Rogers.
No, I was the original Rip.
Is Rip Oliver after you?
Yeah.
He was the original. Ever wrestle in Louisville? Well, hell yeah. All the time. Louisville Gardens, baby. OVW. All that good stuff.
Commonwealth Convention Center, too.
Commonwealth Convention Center. Is AEW running the business into the ground? Yes.
Okay, you answered that one. But it's another place where guys work and make money. And
sure, we're
TV
big
star.
AEW fans.
Oh, yeah, AEW,
for life, baby.
Yeah.
For life. Can you do that, Rip?
No.
Try it. For life.
Okay.
What was the pay like? I don't know. Favorite person to wrestle? He liked Adrian Street. Rip doesn't like to do a lot of favorites, so you guys in TikTok land,
yeah,
he doesn't like getting the favorites. Mm-mm. Stone Cold Steve Austin's secrets, Rip. You got any secrets about Stone Cold? How about a story? Did you ever wrestle him back in the day? Work him? You're on his podcast. Hey, Rip was on his podcast. Go check it out.
Twice,
baby.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else on Stone Cold, Rip?
No, he sure as hell made a lot of money. That's for damn sure.
That was Saul Weingroff.
Well, that's George Weingroff's daddy.
And the interns. Hey, we were just doing a bunch of that stuff on this book here. The interns, I'm sure they were in it. I think I just saw it. So that was George Weingroff's dad?
Yeah, so that's Saul Weingroff.
Who was the other one?
No, Saul Weingroff was the manager. And
he was?
The interns was Roger Smith's brother and Jim Starr. Jim Starr, I used to work out at his gym in Bossier City, Louisiana. And then a lot of times their other manager would be Dr. Ken Ramey.
Oh, yeah, I remember that name.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Ken Ramey and then Gentleman Saul. But the interns, they looked alike and they're about the same size, so they could have the mask on, so they could do the switcheroo finish and stuff or load the mask up and whatever. Then they always had a manager for distractions.
Hey, I want you to answer this question in your Dusty Rhodes voice. Was Dusty Rhodes overrated?
Was Dusty Rhodes overrated? Well, let's just say he was a superstar. Acted like a superstar, wrestled like a superstar, and was treated like a superstar. How's that?
I don't know. Was he overrated?
What the hell, right?
Any advice for a 19-year-old that wants to get started in wrestling, Rip?
Go to McDonald's first and
See if they're hiring.
Yes. Walmart's hiring too.
Hey, I would do exactly the opposite of everything you see on TV. Whatever you see on TV,
Don't
the opposite.
do it. Do the opposite.
Do the opposite. Then you'll stand out and you'll be a lot safer. That's what I would do. And have Rip train you. Pay him, he'll train you.
Yes.
When you were working with someone you didn't like, and then they didn't finish it.
Well, in other words, that had nothing to do with anything. You're out there doing a job. You're out there doing a business. Whoever you're working with, if you love them or if you hate them, work the same way. You do the best to make him look good, and he does the best to make you look good, or you're both shitty fucking pros. That's all there is to it. Do what you're supposed to do. A lot of guys on the same team, you got to be teammates, but they didn't like each other. A lot of guys, when you was teaching school, there was teachers you didn't like or you didn't give a shit about, but you worked together to do the best you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you're right. Where does he train? Rip really doesn't train people right now, but he would. Just get to Indiana, he'll train you. All right, I think we're gonna wrap this up. We got one last question, maybe on TikTok. We had 4 seats in the front row. Louisville loved the garden shows. Louisville Gardens was awesome, Rip. Give us a little snippet about the Louisville Gardens. Did you even give a shit about the gardens? I loved the Louisville Gardens.
Well, it was cool, but I remember the first time I went there, I was about 18 years old because I grew up on Dick the Bruiser wrestling. Then all of a sudden, Nick Goulas put his TV on Louisville, and all of a sudden I saw Southern wrestling for the first time, where Bruisers was sort of boring. Then all of a sudden, you go crazy, and they had wrestling every Tuesday night, and there'd be about 4,000 or 5,000 people there every week, with 1 hour of television. And then Bruisers would be like every 3 weeks, and he might have 8,000 to 10,000 people there, but they were like low-key matches until Bruiser come out. Then everybody was going nuts. But when you're working Southern style, the place was going nuts the whole time. Yeah. It was just it was another world. I said, and that's you learned about the territories, and you learned about where every territory was different, and had a different style.
It's awesome. Hey, we're gonna start wrapping this stuff up. Great question about the gardens. Keep up the good work. They say, we love you, Rip. They say, hey, if you love Rip, then go right now to Wrestling with Rip Rogers on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. You guys are YouTubers. Hey, go follow us on TikTok. Catch us on Friday Live. You can ask questions. I'm also, with those subscriptions, going to set up some live stream stuff to where you can ask questions on there too live. So we got some options coming up. I'm sorry if this show sucked today. I felt a little boring. I know Chappie thinks Rip has been a little down in the dumps and not very energetic. Do you think how would you rate today's show, Rip?
This is the best show we've done today so far.
Best show we've done today so far. Go to Amazon right now and buy the book. Well, I'll leave the other part for Rip because he doesn't even know what his book's called. It's called The Book on Pro Wrestling, Lessons with Rip Rogers. Go get that on Amazon, you guys out there in TikTok land.
And make sure you join us on YouTube and smash.
And smash that like button, subscribe button, the bell, all that good stuff.
But watch that pertinent information. They might,
We got big interviews today. Vicki James coming on the show in 45 minutes. Chris Silvio, we know him as Sucio. All the top stars. Check out our Nova Simon Dean interview coming out soon. Our Shelly Martinez interview coming out next week.
We just had EC3.
We just put out EC3. We are on
fire.
Fire, baby.
Holy shit, you see how I snuck that in there?
You did, man. You were getting really good at this, Rip. It's only taking you 30 weeks to kind of smarten up a little bit on what to say and when to say it.
Oh, I forgot to shave today.
It don't get no better than that. You got any last words for the YouTubers out there, Rip?
See ya.
Yeah, big gold and a billfold, so swole that I can't get the shit closed. So I money fold and rubber band wrap, and when it pop, bitch, it sound like a hand clap.